Good morning. How are you all today? Thank you for visiting with us. Welcome to Bible class with Andre and Betty. We're continuing our studies from the book of Exodus, and we're in chapter 16. And we're looking at the subject of the danger of complaining and murmuring. Because we'll see that when we complain and gripe and is unthankful, that we're really doing this against the Lord. But we will use another person to take our complaint out on. And so there's a danger in complaining and murmuring. So in chapter 16, we begin with the first verse. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, after their departing out of the land of Egypt. In last week's lesson, in their journey, they ran into water that was undrinkable. And God told Moses to cast a lamb into the water, and the water became sweet. And then they were able to drink the water, and they came to a place of rest in Elim, where there were 10 palm trees and 12 wells of water. So now they're continuing to journey, and they come to a place called the wilderness of Sin, between Elim and Sinai, or the Mount Sinai, or the Mount Horeb. They came on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And we'll see that the first Passover was in Egypt, when God slew all the firstborn of the people of Egypt, because Pharaoh refused to let them go. But now we're in the second month on the 15th day. But the Passover is celebrated the first month of the Jewish year, on the 14th day of the month Abib. So verse 2, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. So they said, and the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For you, Moses and Aaron, have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. And so they are not thinking about that God had enabled them to be delivered out of Egypt, and the Red Sea crossing on dry land, the bitter water being made sweet. And they run into this situation, and instead of asking the Lord, they complained about Moses and Aaron. But we're going to see that their complaint is really against the Lord. And so they're saying, we'd rather be in Egypt. We had everything we needed in the world. So why are we gonna die because you brought us into this wilderness? Verse 4. Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no, or not. So they complained against Moses, but the Lord is gonna give them bread from heaven, which is Jesus is the bread of life, which means our sustainer of our physical life and well-being. And God is going to test these people to prove that they are unable to obey him. Verse 5. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day, let me go back to verse 4. Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, a certain amount every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no, or whether they will obey me. And this is the daily bread that God promised to give them on a daily basis. Verse 5, and it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. That's because of the Sabbath day, they were not to do any work. Verse 6, and Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, At even or at evening, then you shall know that the Lord had brought you out from the land of Egypt. You're complaining against us, but it was the Lord that brought you out. Verse 7, and in the morning, then you shall see the glory of the Lord, for that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us? Verse 8. And Moses said, This shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that the Lord heareth your murmurings, which you murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. Verse 9, and Moses spake unto Aaron, Say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before the Lord, for he had heard your murmurings. Verse 10, and it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in a cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. Verse 13, and it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host, or the manna. And when you compare Numbers 11:31 through 34, it explains what's taking place here in verse 13 about the quails when they were when God gave them the quail, because they were complaining about eating the light bread, they were tired of the manna. Then God told them that He'd send quail and that they'll eat it for a whole month, and then after a month they'll get sick and vomited. They can chew, but they won't be able to swallow because of their greediness and their inability to not complain. So verse 14, and when the dew that lay was gone up, when it evaporated, behold, upon the face of the wilderness, there lay a small round thing, as small as the white frost on the ground, just a little round white amount of bread. Verse 15. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, "It is manna," for they knew not what it was. So they called it manna. And Moses said unto them, "This is the bread which the Lord had given you to eat." Verse 16, "This is the thing which the Lord had commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, and homer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents." So each family was to take enough to feed the family, and then we'll see what else they're instructed to do. Verse 17, and the children of Israel did so, and gathered, some more and some less, because there are different numbers of people in a family. Verse 18, and when they did measure it with an omer, and that's a tool for measuring dry measures. You have liquid measures and dry measures. And when they did meet it with an homer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 15, this verse is repeated. Verse 19. And Moses said, "Let no man leave of it till the morning. You gather enough for today, but don't leave any till the morning. Notwithstanding, stubborn and stiff-necked, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted, the manna melted." 22. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. So they're getting instructions on how to reach the Canaan land and follow the laws and commandments of God. But this is the stages of them going through instructions that God is giving them through Moses. And so verse 23 says, "And he said to them," Moses said unto them, "This is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and boil or seethe that ye will seethe. and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. Now this is the sixth day. They gathered twice as much, and they could lay this up for the Sabbath, but not on a daily basis. And then when they did this, so because they can't work on the Sabbath, then it will not breed worms. The bread will not breed worms. Verse 24. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. You will not find any. Now, the Sabbath was given by God in Genesis, the 2nd chapter, as a day of rest. And the Sabbath represents the finished work of God for creation, whereas Jesus, as our Sabbath rest, depicts the finished work of Christ for our redemption. And so, verse 27, and it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day for together, and they found none. He told them, don't go out because it's the Sabbath day, but some of them decided to go out. Verse 28, and the Lord said unto Moses, how long refuse you to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Lord had given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the sixth day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day. So the people rested on the seventh day. 31. And the house of Israel called the name thereof, and the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And I think about those wafers, honey-made wafers, when I read this. 32. And Moses said, this is the thing which the Lord commanded. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations. And this will be brought out in Hebrews, the 9th chapter, that the manna is still there, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot and put a certain amount full of manna therein, and lay it up before the Lord to be kept for your generations. And up until the temple was destroyed in 70 AD, the manna was in the ark, in the holiest of holy, along with the ark of the covenant. Verse 34. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. The testimony is the 10 commandments. Verse 35, and the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years. That's how long they were in the wilderness, until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now, an omer is the 10th part of an ephah, which is another dry measure. And so in Joshua chapter 5, verse 11 and 12, we'll see that the day they ate the old corn of the land, the manna ceased to fall on a daily basis. So it's a danger in complaining, but God's mercy will still take care of us until our time is up. So you all have a great day and a great week.